Stepping and then bringing this back foot around in a circle. 1, and then stepping.
Strike first, strike hard. No mercy? Welcome back to Wasenshido Dojo, because the dojo is wherever you are. So today is day 2 of day 7 of our martial arts week-long starter pack. Today is striking and a little bit of movement. So striking and movement, basically combining a little bit of what we did yesterday with some striking, self-defense, boxing, and some basic strikes. So get up out of that chair, join me on this beautiful day out here in nature. Let's get going.
All right, guys, let's start with a little bit of movement, a little bit of warming up. So just a nice little bounce, get on the balls of the feet. Let the arms shake themselves and relax. Let your body kind of relax and feel loose. Okay, go back and forth a little bit with your weight, shifting left and right. Nice deep breath in the nose and exhale. Okay, shake the hands out. All right, and kick the legs a little bit. Let's do some arm circles because we'll be throwing some punches and strikes. Forward or switch directions. Across the body. And continue to move left and right. And up over the head. Switching both arms. Don't want to bounce too much, but just a little bit of half neck circles. Nice deep breath in the nose. And let's go to the hips. Switching directions. This is just real quick, real fast. I didn't even expect to do this. I'm just like, yep, most people need their warm-ups, and so do I, we all do. So, knees, and let's go, after you watch the video for day 1, let's just go back into a horse stance or a side stance, wide-legged stance, and shift back and forth. This time, hands up. Okay. Get a little bit of our blood circulating, warm up the muscles, the joints. Okay. Shake the fingers or move the hands and the fingers around. And the wrists. If you do have a punching bag, we're actually gonna go inside after this first section and use Bob, Century Bob, as our sparring partner. But if you have a partner, grab them or get your punching bag out and have that to the side. We'll be using that. So let's start bouncing. The first lesson for today is
boxing. So we'll just do a 1, 2, 3, 4 boxing, very easy with a couple movements. Okay, jab. So left foot forward, this is the standard. If you did the class yesterday in stances, this is the boxing stance. Standing forward, jump up and turn your body a little bit. Be like a like a 45-degree angle. Okay, so we're on the balls of the feet, hands are up. Okay, now let's throw that jab. Throw that jab. Turn that heel out, turn the hips, extend with, or turn the shoulder in and extend with the arm. Okay? Same thing if you want to do a palm heel, we're gonna cover palm heel as well. Palm heel, bouncing, turning the heel, turning the body, and extending the arm. 90% extension on the elbow. A little bit of breath on the exhale. Okay. Doesn't look like much, but that's the setup. So 1, and then coming with a cross punch. Okay, so 1 jab, 2 is twisting the body, turning that right foot, that right heel out. So the heel, then the hips, then the shoulder, squaring up and coming across. And it's a cross punch because you're coming across the body at an angle like this. Okay, so if you're behind me, it's the jab towards the face, and coming across, cross punch, and you're aiming with this generally at the chin, angle at the chin. And we'll demonstrate on Bob. Okay, you don't want to lean. You don't want to lean with your body, but you just want to turn and stay pretty much upright. You can your knees can bend. You can do a little bit of a forward motion to get a little bit of extension. Like this. See how I move maybe 3, 4, 5 inches, but not this, unless it's absolutely necessary for some weird, odd reason. But you don't want to, that's the general rule, you don't want to throw yourself off balance. Here, you're all on this front foot, your back is bent, you're off balance, you can get pulled off balance, you can get swept real easy, you can trip over things, I mean, the list goes on. So, jab, cross, and then the hook comes. So 1, 2, and then hook, hook. Some people hook with their fist flat. Some people do a stacked fist. It doesn't matter either way. Whatever feels good, whatever. Jab, cross, and I like to do a stacked fist, vertical fist. Okay. And so with that the left hook, the left heel turns forward. My hips turn, my shoulder turns. I'm not punching with the arm. There's a little bit of arm-shoulder movement, but it's the whole body is turning with that. Okay. Once you get more advanced and you have more strength and all the joints and tendons and ligaments are all really strong and there's muscle memory, there's a little bit more of a arm striking with the actual arm moving. A lot of boxers though, Mike Tyson comes up and his whole body, that's how he did a lot of his knockouts, just he came up, his whole body turned and his hook was real close into him. Boom. Okay, so that's how the hook goes. So jab, it's heel, heel, heel. So heel, heel, heel. Heel, heel, heel. See that, my feet, my left heel, jab. Turn that back heel out, turning my body, cross. Hands are up. And heel again is a hook. You want to have a little bit lower center of gravity. Okay, and then the fourth one is you dropping your stance. Remember that Kung Fu we were talking about yesterday where the knees are coming in? It's like Wing Chun. It's a spiral. So you're turning forward towards the opponent and lifting up with an uppercut. Okay? Boom. Hopefully you can see that in there. So 1, 2, hook, drop, turn, and uppercut. It all happens at once. So we're here and we're uppercut. Now that we've established the boxing 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to do palm heel. We do palm heel, forearm, elbow, and knee. So palm heel is extremely powerful and destructive. It is amazing for beginners. For if you don't have developed hands and knuckles and wrists and all that kind of stuff, it's great for women self-defense. But of course, anybody. This is my preferred strike for either self-defense or real-life situations. I am not going to be punching somebody unless for some reason it's necessary. You do not want to, if you're not punching hard things and getting your wrists and metacarpals and all the bones in your hands and knuckles and fingers, you're likely going to break your wrist, or maybe your wrist. You're likely going to break your hand bones, knuckles, either fingers, if you're not used to punching a lot of things in harder surfaces. So palm heel. Okay, so open up the hand. You're striking with right here at the bottom of the palm, because this is the very end of the strong bones in your forearm. Okay, and then there's the wrist of course, but you bypass a lot of the wrist bones because you can go right into the bones of the forearm and the meaty pad of the hand. Okay, so start with a punching bag, start with your own hand just like this. Here, turning the hands, pulling the fingers back. Some people have their thumb tucked in. I tend to not do that. Some people have their fingers tucked in. I also tend not to do that. Okay, so I don't really go down either, but you can palm heel down, palm heel to the side, or palm heel, as I like to do, is at straight up or at an angle for the nose or the face. Okay. Same thing if you want to just throw out a jab, but it's a palm heel, that's fine too. Hands are up, open hands. Open hands are great for self-defense because it's like, it keeps you out of danger. It keeps you, in a way, less aggressive. So it's also in legal terms as well. You could always say, my hands were open, I meant no harm. You know, if somebody comes close, pop them with a palm heel right to the face, right to the nose. Okay, that's a really good self-defense tool. So again, if you're like square, if you're in kind of a boxing, hands are up. Throw it, it's a jab. You can do jab cross just with the palm heels. So we'll go over that as well with Bob. Next well, I'll do forearm with Bob and elbow, but forearms are like, use it like a short distance knife hand strike. Okay, we won't go too much in a knife hand. We'll mention knife hand today. Forearm, but instead of using the knife hand to the neck, you kind of come with the forearm and your body weight. We'll go over that as well. And then the knee strikes. Okay, start just lifting up, working on your balance, bending that knee, tap the knee. Don't want to tap it every time because you don't want to get in the habit of a real life situation and then you go to, you know, hands are up and like, oh my God, and then you throw up a knee and then you touch your knee and you leave your whole head and face uncovered. And this hand is here, but you're like, you want some of this knee right here? I'm tapping it for you. Bring it on. Strike first, strike hard. You want no mercy? Right here. Huh? Huh? That's what you can do. Just kidding. Don't do that. So, unless being silly and sarcastic can get you out of a situation, ninjutsu. So, kind of it's distracting, it's comedic, it can bring the tone down. It's, what's the word? Deflating or de-escalating, de-escalate the situation, use comedy. It's a great tool. So we got the 1, 2, 3, 4 boxing, palm heel, knife hand, forearm, elbow, okay, and the knee. And then I do want to cover stomping, but that might be for the kicking day. Do we even have a kicking day? I wrote it all out. We'll see. We'll throw some kicks in there somewhere. And kicks are part of striking, so we'll cover a little bit of that. All right, let's go head inside. All right. Okay, so we got jab, cross, and hook. Jab, cross, and lower my center of gravity and come in with you're using your whole body. They're coming across the side of the face, the jawbone, or the chin. These are all where you want to strike, especially with the fist. Okay, jaw, dislocate the jaw, or you can do a knockout here. If you rattle that chin, shakes the brain, that's how the knockouts happen. So, 1, 2, 3, drop your center of gravity and come up. And again, you're coming up to the chin. Okay. And you just work on that spiral. You work on that twisting and spiraling up. Again, you're punching with your whole body's moving. Your whole body's moving, and it's very little arm movement. You're not doing this. You're not doing this. You're doing this and this. Boom, boom, boom. You keep your hand up. Protecting your head. So it's protecting the head here. Whatever hand is not punching or striking, you're protecting the head area. 1, 2, hands up. 3, hands up. 4, other hand is up by the head, protecting. Okay, so that's boxing. Palm heel, right to the nose. Palm heel, push. Palm heel, and smother. Okay, and then you got eyes. Palm heel, push. So we're gonna talk about that later. And then another day is control the head, control the body. So you're doing several things. You're striking, or you're striking and a pushing. Okay, jamming, pushing them off balance. Then you're taking away their vision; they can't see. And you're pull. You know, if you really are having to defend yourself at that level, you want to go for the eyes. You know, if you're really feeling like you're really in danger, going for the eyes, scratching, and then once you come with the eyes, palm heel with the other hand, cross punch, cross strike, and go for the nose break. Okay. Or if you come in at an angle, you can kind of turn the palm to the side a little bit and come across the chin, and try to get a little, maybe even a knockout with the chin at an angle. So if you're here, and then you're at an angle, you kind of come across. That's a little bit harsh for your wrist, but you practice that, see how it feels. But usually the knockout punch is from a fist, vertical or horizontal. So I was trying to find out what horizontal, vertical, or yeah, horizontal or vertical come across. But those knuckles, they need to be, you know, unless your life is in danger and that's just all you got. I don't care if my knuckles hurt or my knuckles broken. If it knocks a person out, saves my life or saves somebody else's life. So we all have to, you have to practice and you have to think about those things. So strike hard, strike first, no mercy. That's a Cobra Kai joke, but sometimes you don't want to strike first. Strike hard, strike last. Have mercy, have no mercy if your life is on the line. So, you know, so that's for self-defense. If your life is on the line, absolutely no mercy. So, next is knife hands, forearms, and elbows. Okay, so knife hand with the edge of the hand here. So the padded part of your hand. Start with this. Start with your own hand. You're just striking your hand. I don't strike too hard, but what you might feel uncomfortable. You might feel a little zing on that knife hand bone. Hey, there's a little bone protruding right there on the side. But you want to build up that. You want to tense those fingers, the pinky fingers, and tense the hands so you can tense the hand muscles so you can get a little bit more of a. You don't want to hit the bone, and you want to hit more of the meaty part. Okay, so you don't want to turn your hand and hit this bone right here as much. I mean, it's going to be part of the strike, but you want to hit with the meaty part. So you can feel the difference if you turn your hand like this or like this. So you feel, I feel a little zing in that bone right there. Okay. So some people have their fingers out. Some people have their fingers like this. Some people do a cute little point. Okay. Some people, or not some, the way you want to do it is also pull up the wrist. So my wrist is directly to the side. You want to pull it up and do it like that. That kind of keeps here. And the hand, you want the wrist to be flat or maybe a little bit of an angle. So some people do a little angle, so you can see that in the Karate Kid movie where he cuts he cuts through it. No, he strikes through all those chunks of ice. You know, and he has his hand like angled like this. So if you do a palm up to the side of the throat here, side of the neck, it's like that. But anyways, nice and straight or up here. So you're gonna strike the side of the neck with the large muscle here, and there's a carotid artery right there. You can actually knock somebody unconscious just from a strong strike right here. They will pass out, and they will, you know, it can cause them to pass out, and it can, you know, knock them out for a while, 15 minutes or something, or maybe just 5 seconds. But yes, that's what happens. That's what can happen, sorry. Knife hand strike here, knife hand strike both sides. Here, it's a quick jaunt, it's a quick strike. You want to practice it. There's not much body movement. There's no, if you come like this, there's a lot of body movement, okay? So you can come down and swipe the arms, swipe the face, and come down with a palm up. You can do a nice quick palm heel or flick to the eyes and come in a nice knife hand to the carotid or the side of the neck. And that was where the forearm comes in. You can get the carotid, you can get the neck here, and the forearm maybe gets a nice smack on the chin here. Maybe you get a forearm into the chin and you don't even hit the neck very much. Okay, so or you get something and then it jostles them off balance, and then you come in and you can do another knife hand. But at that point, I would come in and try to break the nose with a palm heel. So here, flick the eyes, palm heel, coming in. And so as you can see, try this one as well. Come in with the knife hand towards the neck. You can strike and then use the forearm and push your body into your opponent. So try that with Bob or your opponent. Careful with the front of the throat, obviously. So forearm strike to the, so you can also just come in straight with a forearm strike and then a push. And then you got the foot there for a stomp. Here, grab their clothes. So you come in, strike the neck, grab their clothes, their shoulder. You got the foot for a foot stomp if you have your boots on, or if you stomp hard enough, you could break their foot bones if they were just wearing regular shoes. Or it doesn't matter what they're wearing, usually unless it's steel toe boots. You can break their toes, break their heel, or break their metatarsals in the top of their foot. Or just very uncomfortable and they go, ow, and then you can take them down, sweep, go to the face, hair, all kinds of stuff. So that's going into like the self-defense type stuff. I'm going to do a 7-day self-defense, by the way. 3-day, maybe 7-day, we'll see. So, knife hand with palms down, knife hand with palm up. Again, using your body, turning your body with it and coming down. Use your other arm to swipe out of the way as you step in. Maybe you go to the eyes, you swipe just to distract them, get their arms to come down. As you step in, boom, with your body movement, and you step in and strike at the neck. That's one of the only few times that I ever want to step and strike. I don't want to step and punch necessarily. I don't want to step and do any of that kind of stuff. I don't want to step and strike. I don't want to step and stab. I don't want to step and stab unless I have to. I want to shuffle up and stab. I want to shuffle up and throw a strike. So very few times that you want to step, swipe, and then come down. Swipe and come onto the neck, or if your arms are developed enough, or your forearms, you can break a collarbone. Okay, with the forearm coming down right on the collarbone. Okay, and you can also, even the palm is up, you can come in and step and press off balance as well. Get them off their 45, get them off their line of balance. So you come and you swipe, strike, grab, and go to the back of the neck, grab the hair, going for a knee. So again, that goes into our knee strikes, coming down, stomping on the foot, chin, forearm, come up with underneath the chin with the forearm, and elbow with the elbow into the chin or forearm into the chin. So you got there. This is pretty tight on Bob, so you got this here. So you got, let's say for however reason you get real close and you start grappling. Boom, you grab the shoulder, grab the clothes, and you can give, let's say you do a nice little nice knife hand to the side of the neck to kind of jostle them. And then you grab and then you go underneath the chin. You pop them with the forearm or the elbow, depending on where you're at. boom. Maybe you're down here in the shoulder, you do one of these. Okay? Forearm, or knife hand, elbow, palm heel across the nose, or even punch across the nose here, try maybe get a knockout. But come underneath and you can push them, you can lift them up, off balance, and then that can, more knees, more foot stomps, and you can go into easily sweep them down if they're off balance like that. The shoulder is a pivot point, okay, and so is the shoulder is a really nice pivot point as far as also then the head is. The head you pull up and down, so we'll go, that'll be I think day 7, control the head, control the body. So that'll be it for the day. Let's recap real quick. So same thing, if it doesn't matter if you're left hand or right hand. So you get into your boxing stance. Okay. We will cover some movement actually, so we'll spend a few more minutes doing that. So we got jab, cross, hook, uppercut, uppercut, uppercut to the solar plexus, kind of straight out / uppercut to the groin if you're low enough, if they're tall enough, boom, you come to uppercut, face, uppercut, eyes, knife hand, palm heel. You're like, hey, I don't want any trouble. I just want to try to diffuse the situation, de-escalate, open hands. Hey, I don't want any trouble. Sorry, whatever's, sorry for whatever happened or whatever I did. And they still come at you. You got your hands open. If their sleeves are too long, you want to go, sorry, sir, we're just going to have to pull up your sleeves a little bit. And then all of a sudden, distraction, go right to their nose. Sir, your pocket's untied, and then you go towards the nose. Or you do it towards the eyes with a flick, just for a half-second distraction. And then maybe a palm heel to you press and push and try to control the head. And then you come in with a palm heel to boom, like your palm heel in a garlic clove. Bah! So, and then you break the nose. Boom. Or flick, eyes. Okay, whatever you do here, swipe, and then coming in, stepping. If you don't mind if you know what you're doing. So now that we covered a lot of the strikes, let's go into a little bit of the movement. So shadow boxing, a little bit of dancing, prancing around, floating like a butterfly. Your boxing stance, and let's start bouncing back and forth. Hands are up. 1, 2. As you're bouncing, you're turning your foot, turning your hips. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2. You bounce. Now in reality, you don't want to bounce too much with that. You kind of want to keep your feet planted. 1, 2. Okay. As you duck and roll. So you strike, and duck. Or bob and weave. Okay? Nice little, just practice with me, up and down. It's a U shape. You go under and around the punch and throw a strike, jab, cross. Bob and weave the other way, jab, cross. Bob and weave. 1. Couple jabs, bob and weave. Couple jabs, bob and weave. 1, 2, 3, and then throw a hook. 1, 2, hook, bob and weave, and then one more time, and you come up for an uppercut. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Stepping. So now, jab, triangulate, step, or it's kind of like off to the side, not even so much, but you can triangulate forward. Okay? 1, 2, triangulate forward, come with a cross. Watch me from this angle. Okay? Throw a jab to distract. 1, 2 maybe. Step at an angle, triangulate. Maybe jab again, hand to the face, and come with a cross. And then you come with a hook straight onto the face, here, maybe the nose, here, and then you can uppercut into the ribs. Uppercut, maybe come forward a little bit towards their head. They're not going to be standing right here the whole time just in one position. That's why it's good to have a sparring partner. So have your partner kind of just move along with you. Just kind of, you know, you don't need to punch each other if you don't want to. Just have headgear on and just do some taps. Have some boxing gloves on. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you want to time the feet with the punch. This is advanced. 1, step, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can distract if you're kind of moving and you're kind of off, not off balance, but you're moving, you're not planted. Then you just, those are more distractions. You come in with those distracting strikes. And then once you plant that foot, and then you turn and twist and you throw the punch. Does that make sense? This is why it just takes time and practice. So timing, distancing, and angles. So wait for the right timing to plant that foot. So you're like, hey, I don't want any trouble, boom, pace, and then plant and turn and strike. Strike, strike. Face, and then you see, use the right timing, the timing with your planting your feet and turning, angling. Okay, I'm gonna come at an angle towards the chin, angle towards the body, pushing them off balance. Distance, you don't wanna come in too far away and go throw yourself off balance. So you wanna have good distancing. So one technique is hands are up, and as you're bouncing back and forth, you're inching your way forward with that front foot. So it's a little bit of a deception. So your hands, you're bouncing back and forth, and you're inching that front foot. Each time you bounce, you get that front foot an inch closer to them. 1, 2, and then all of a sudden, you're close in, and it's deceptive. They don't see it coming. Okay? So, shadow boxing, bouncing around, feel when it's the right time to plant and distract, and then plant those feet and twist and throw a stronger punch or a palm heel. Do some distractions and then find the right distancing and timing, and then come in with a sweep and knife hand to the throat, and then go to the other side. You parry and you move, and then you come in a palm heel. You go back, and then again. Use what we did in day one. Triangulate. If something's coming straight in, you might shuffle back, but do not continue to shuffle back. The more you shuffle back, you put yourself into danger. So maybe shuffle back once or twice and then stepping to the side or triangulating forward. Or even as you step back, you triangulate back. So you're going back, but then you're off at it. You go back, and then you step off the line. And then guess what? In this direction, then you can step and triangulate the other way. This is really important. So that's why circling and triangulating is so important in everything. UFC, MMA, self-defense, street fighting, you name it. So stepping back, and then stepping aside, and then triangulate forward, and then circling. And then switching feet, circling. All right, so let's bounce. Step, circle, step and circle. I'm stepping and then bringing this back foot around in a circle. 1, and then stepping, circling, circling. And then switching stance. So from here, switch and circle. Then you're stepping, circling. The same thing we were just doing. Stepping, circling. And it can be really close in. Stepping, circling. See how I'm just moving my feet 6 inches or so on the front foot, maybe. Just turning. Switching directions. Go the other way. Or you can go really far out. Okay, and then switching, and then you're really way out here. Circling, you're shuffling, sidestepping, hands are up. So this is why I wanted to combine some striking with movement. So that's base, that's kind of intermediate, a little bit advanced. So you're moving with your partner, and you're not even striking. You're just you're gauging each other, okay? Gauging. Hands are up, hands are out. Maybe you're just doing, you know, this isn't striking, but maybe they're striking you, and you're just kind of catching or parrying. I'm just getting used to moving and blocking, parrying, or evading the nagare from them. And then maybe they're just gonna block and you're just throwing some light punches, light strikes, you know, touch, you know, come in with a, maybe you switch, coming down, swiping, boom, coming down, palm heel, coming down, grab, knee, push away, you know, boom, strike, boom, boom, all kinds of different stuff. So yeah, it covers a lot of the basics of striking and some movement. One last technique before we go. Okay, so watch this. You're bouncing, hands are up. Okay, you kind of drop this hand a couple times, hand drops a couple times. Throw that knee up, boom, and then right here, boom, right to the face. So it drops it, and it comes right towards the head here. It's deceiving because you drop it, and so the fist becomes a little bit deceiving on coming straight towards the head. You don't see it telegraph as much with the up here. It comes from down here. So the knee distracts them, and you come up with a punch. So you're bouncing, the hand comes up and down, maybe you throw a little jab, hand, knee, they look at they concentrate on the knee, boom, and you come in with a punch. Okay? So practice that a few times. Practice that 100 times, 1,000 times. So from here, you drop that front hand, boom, knee, and then step in and throw a little jab to the face. And then you can come in with other stuff, grab, knee, whatever. Remember to subscribe and like the video, comment below to keep the algorithm going, sign up for notifications to see when my videos come out. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.